All right, I'm going to have a go at the Guardian's weekly Quiptic crossword, set this week by Hectons. All right, let's see what Hectons has for us. Small accident, spoiled most of pie and mash. Well, small is often S. Then a small word for accident. And then maybe, most of pie just might be the P and I. And spoiling, anagramming that at the end, and then it's going to be mash. I can't think of a S something ip that's mash. Squash. Oh, R. Yeah, I see within PI plus mash, if you anagram that, you get mishap, and that is a small accident. All right, I had the wrong end of the stick already. Working demonstrations, enthralling queen. Enthralling sounds like a word placement thing, so maybe a word for demonstration goes around the queen is probably R or ER, and then it would mean the definition will be working. Manual, no. Vowed to be tender, protecting wife. Oh, I think it might mean vowed. I think we need a word for tender. That's going to go around W for wife. Oh, swore would be vowed. And so, yeah, I would not have thought of tender meaning sore, but certainly I can understand that. Vie and cheat briefly, desperate to win. Yeah, I don't get that one. All right, back to the across. Cheers, Celtic, eluding the Spanish strategy. Oh, well, the in Spanish could be L, and I'm thinking it's Celtic without the L is CTIC, and cheers in England, if you say cheers to somebody, if they give you something meaning thanks, you can also say ta. Thank you very much for the empty islands. I think that's right. So, clever you finally infiltrating state organization. Clever you, that's another very English phrasing. You might say that to somebody if they tell you about something they did or achieved. Clever you. Is there another short exclamation you might make to somebody that means the same thing? Finally infiltrating might just be the last letter of infiltrating. And then a state organization. Yeah, I'm hoping it's not some British organization, Quango, that I'm not aware of. All right, short article on outbreak available for debate. Well, I'm thinking the article, since we have a T, might be the. But then does that mean short is the definition? Oh, maybe it's the without the E. And then it goes on a word for outbreak. And then the definition would be available for debate. Well, I don't know any phrase that says I'm available for debate. Or does it mean a topic is up for debate? Now, how about steering boat to take in capital of Antigua's tempting? Yeah, I think the capital of Antigua is simply going to be the letter A. And so maybe is there a word for a steering boat? Oh, there is. I think when a big ship comes into harbor, I would have just called it a tug. But is there another word for it? Steering boat. And then the definition would be tempting. No. How about cancel, posh, party, after first night? Oh, I think cancel might be the definition. Maybe. Posh is often you. For upper class, I think is the origin. And a party can be a do after first night. Could that just simply be the first letter of night? Nudo. I don't think nudo is a word that means cancel. Yeah, I was trying to make zero work, but no. Something that beats rest for pain. No. Cool sounding, decorative strip around room. Well, I know this one. Not 100% sure of the spelling, but you can have a freeze. I think it's Z-E. Not 100% sure, but obviously it is a homophone of the word freeze with double E. Z-E. Next time I pause, I will check the spelling of freeze. Gives away, rejected lager, and Stella with a third off. All right, it sounds like we're going to have, well, the word Stella with a third off would be dropping the LA. Well, I suppose you could drop the first two letters too. Gives away must be the definition then. Rejected lager. Yeah. And then do we anagram these letters? The word off can be used to say anagram, but we're already using that, I think, to remove a third of Stella, so I'm confused by that one. Livestock managers initially prefer to split female flocks. Managers initially is probably the M. Prefer to split maybe a word for female and then a word for flocks. And the whole thing, I think, would mean livestock. Could be I was going to say a brand of cattle, a breed of cattle, or sheep, or no. Just looking here, if it's R for queen, then we have it. But if it's an E and working, no, I'm not sure about that. And then our E doesn't really help us there, I think. Desperate to win. No. All right, hum, piano tune dropping intro. Well, I immediately think of the chimps. Which tea do they use to advertise when they were the furniture movers? Dad, do you know the piano's on my foot? You, Ahmed-san, and I'll play it. Piano can be simply P. A tune dropping intro, yeah, sounds like... Ah, well, I just recorded before this the Everyman crossword, which will come out tomorrow. And one of the clues involved the word humming to mean really smelling badly. So P plus the last three letters of song gives us pong. So that was helpful. Horse requires time and money to be turned around. Well, the turned around sounds like wordplay, so I think it must be a kind of a horse. And we're probably going to have maybe a T for time, but it could also be an era. Money might be, yeah, money is M. And if you turn that all around, you get a mare. Required by law to have artwork contracted by politician. Well, I just saw today an interview with that poor British woman who was the artist who painted the infamous portrait of Donald Trump in Colorado. I do have to say it was not her best work. Anyway, I did enjoy the whole episode. So what is this? Required by law? That must be the definition. And then we're going to have artwork, probably shortened form of an artwork. Politician might be MP, or maybe it's the name of a politician. But what's a word for required by law? Mandated? No. You shouldn't have tissue stuffed into back of bureau. Oh, I think the definition is you shouldn't have, which you might say to somebody if they give you a gift. I think it might simply be thank you. Yeah, because I think the tissue might be a hanky. Yeah, so let me write it in. And yeah, the hanky is in the middle of the word to. So it's stuffed in to plus the back of bureau is the U. So it goes into TOU. Say no to waste. Well, if you say no to something, you refuse it. And refuse is waste. Act as mother in retrospective work with university theatre cast. I think act as mother is a British expression meaning pour the tea. So in fact, I'm wondering if it could be pour the tea. Yes, work can be opus, shortened to OP. And if that's retrospective, then it's PO. University can be abbreviated to U. And then cast can mean thrown. And so if we throw our anagram theatre, I think we get R plus the T. I like it. Virus, retired man's energy, beginning to go. I think it may be a virus. Retired sounds like a reversal, maybe a reversal of a word for man, maybe even a man's name, but without the E for energy, maybe. But I don't know what that would be. Notice packing goods evenly tests clever little appliance. Oh, a notice could be an ad. Packing goods evenly. Yeah, it could be every other letter of packing goods. But I don't think we have enough letters to do that. Maybe it's the even letters from tests, E and T. Clever little appliance. Well, I think about the old joke about the thermos flask, and the fellow asks what he doesn't understand is how does the thermos flask know if the liquid is hot or cold and which way to keep it. All right, let's finish the acrosses. Nerve of boy, messing up, toilet, eyes scrubbed. Well, messing up sounds like an anagram indicator. I think of toilet minus the I. We scrub the I. And then I think B, can boy be abbreviated to B? I think it can in things like the Boy Scouts, maybe whatever their organization is. And so I think nerve would be the definition, but I don't see anything in to let plus a B. Bottle. Yeah, it is actually. So bottle is nerve. All right. Let me pause and sip my coffee. All right. Rang computer department to resign. Succeeded and put end to dispute. All right. I mean, the first part sounds like completely ridiculous stuff. So I think put end to dispute must be the definition. What's that last word? Something like bury the hatchet, or yeah, the second word not being the is funny. Anyway, so what's the wordplay? Rang could be called. Oh, and then computer department, I think, would be IT, so called it. So then to resign, succeeded. Yeah, I don't get it. Went along with, parent worried about daughter. I think went along with might be the definition. Oh, I'm wondering if the ending might be re for about and then D for daughter, because went along is past tense. So parent worried, yes, is going to be an anagram of parent. And I'm not spotting what that is going to be. Worried about daughter. Went along with. Yeah, I'm going to pause, sip my coffee, and think about that one. It is simply partnered. I'm sure you all spotted that immediately without stopping to sip your coffee. All right, Mum and John played golf game. Looking at the letters, I thought, well, there is a game that would fit that, and that is Mahjong, which seems to be having a bit of a resurgence. I came across it twice recently, one from a friend of mine who played it, and read an article about someone else who tried it for the first time. So Mum is Ma, and then John is played or anagrammed, and then golf is G from the NATO phonetic alphabet. High wind ripped a door half off. Well, high wind, we sometimes get them here in Texas. Tornado. Ripped is torn, A is A, and then door with half off is DO. Book substitute. Well, if you book something, you might reserve it, and a substitute could be a reserve. Some lovely cheese, and fruit. Well, hidden clue within lovely cheese, we have lychee, which is a fruit. Husband invested in elaborate gift box. So husband can be abbreviated to H. Elaborate is telling us to anagram gift, and then we might get fight for box. All right, let's try these ones at the bottom. Virus, retired man's energy, beginning to go. Yeah, I don't see a virus there. No. So maybe it's beginning to go, or no, I don't think so. All right, here's our clever little appliance. Oh, maybe the notice, which I thought might be, yes, an ad. Oh, it packs goods. Well, good can be abbreviated to G. Your teacher might write on your paper G for good. So goods plural are two G's. And then evenly tests, the even letters of tests are the E and the T, and that gives us a gadget, a clever little appliance, of course. Still don't know what my virus is. Oh, a germ, I suppose. Let me try that. Retired man's energy beginning to go. Oh, I think it's the beginning letters of go, the G, and then we reverse retired man's energy, RME. No, retired man's RM. I don't know. We'll check that one at 15 squared. I'm fairly confident, but we will find out if I'm right or wrong. Yeah, that was quite a tricky first pass. I really only made progress in the bottom half. Let's try the top half again. Working. No. Vi. Cheat briefly, desperate to win. No. Ooh, so this must be something off, something out. Short article on outbreak available. Oh, to debate something might be to thrash it out. So the an outbreak on your face might be a rash, and short article is the TH on the rash, and then available for. I don't get the out part, so we will have to check that. All right, steering now. Maybe steering is the definition. Boat, to take in capital. No, I think it's going to be a tempting word, and I think that's going to be an ing. Yeah, I suppose either if it's steering or tempting, it's probably going to end in ing. Steering boat. Oh, maybe there's a word for steering the boat beginning with C. Oh, I should get that. Tempting. No. Oh, how about my required by law? Let me pause and think about that. Well, if something is required by law, I presume it is mandatory, and the politician is Tory. So what's the artwork? Manda? What type of artwork is Manda? I must be being very slow today, but I do not see that. Oh, maybe it's not mandatory because I don't like 8 down. Yeah, that doesn't. No, it's statutory, of course. So the artwork is a statue. That makes more sense. Yeah. So yeah, I think this must be IT for computer department. And then a word for to resign, I think. But resign, can we fit in resign and succeeded? Oh, called it quits. Put an end to a dispute. Yeah, I liked. Ah, now I get how we get both resign, quit, and I think in genealogies, Brett's peerage or something like that, they would put S period for succeeded by or succeeded. All right, what is our livestock now? I'm wondering if flocks could be, livestock managers could be shepherds. They might put that on their CV. Uh, so let's see. The initial letter of prefer, the P, splits female is she, and flocks are herds. Alrighty. Ooh, so I don't think that's going to be an E, but working. Oh, a queen could be a monarch. A demonstration is a march, and that enthralls or surrounds the word on, which can mean working, as in your refrigerator is working, it is on. Oh, cancel, of course, is undo. So posh is you, but then we have to read it as, I think I said nudo. So close, so very close. I did not spot the obvious that we're going to put the U first, then the do after the first letter of night. Oh my goodness. Yeah. All right, gives away rejected lager and Stella with a third off. Oh, I think if you give away some information, you let it slip. So I like let's slip. I think we reject or read backwards the whole thing. We have a pills type of lager, and we have the first 4 letters of Stella. All right, just the top right, more or less. Let's try and get our... Ooh, I think to win might be to achieve. Yeah, I think it's an anagram of vi plus the first 4 letters of cheat. And that gives us, and it's desperate or anagrammed. Ooh, something that beats the rest. I'm thinking something like a head. And that, yeah, it's going to be some kind of pain, not a headache. But I do think like a head something. Well, a headmaster beats the rest, but that doesn't mean pain. I'm fairly confident in thrash out. Apart from the out part, I wasn't so sure about. All right, clever you. Finally infiltrating state. Oh, yeah, maybe U finally is the letter U, and that goes inside a state, a US state maybe? And it's going to give us an organization. I still don't know what clever is. Adept, and tempting. Oh, let me pause, finish off my coffee, and think about words for tempting. Well, I don't have this one, but I looked again at 10 across and I thought, oh, something that beats, if we read it that way, might be the heart. And then I thought, oh, we need a word for pain, might be heartbreak. I mean, the question mark is suggesting maybe it's not a physical pain. And taking a rest, taking a break. All right, so I think we have our A from Antigua there. So if it is a steering boat that is going to take in the A, I think the second letter must be a vowel as well. Because otherwise the boat would be C, consonant, consonant, ing. That doesn't seem right. Tempting. Oh, coaxing. Ah, steering the boat. It's not the boat itself. It's the act of steering it, of course, is coxing, being the cox. And then coaxing is tempting. All right, clever you. Finally infiltrating. I'm thinking of something like at a boy, at a gal. Finally infiltrating. If it is the final letter of the word you, where would the U go? Oh, astute. Ah, that would be clever, yeah. State. Oh, it's a reorganization of the letters in state. That's clever. All right, did we have a theme? Not that I spotted. Did we have a pangram? We do have an X. Oh, we have a J. We have a Q. I think we may have a pangram. Did we have a Z? Oh, maybe that's confirms. I never looked up the spelling of freeze, but that might be it. So I think we do have a pangram. Anyway, let me go ahead and check all. Ah, yeah, the Z is right. Looks like everything else is right. Okay, let's take a quick peek at 15 squared. All right, the blog today is by Shan. Regular appearance of hectons. Her usual pangram, which helps. Yeah, I only spot these things when I think to look for it at the end. I should get in the habit of thinking about it while I'm solving. I think in the end I understood everything other than 25. Oh, Mr. is man, plus E is energy, and the beginning of go, and everything is reversed. That's why, yeah, I was getting the R from retired, but I had to think of Mr. That's tricky. And then 6 down, out is available, stock is out on the shelf. I think if I went up to somebody in a supermarket and I said, do you have beans or whatever? And they said, yeah, they're out. I would think, oh, they're out of them. But maybe in Britain, it's more likely to say, yeah, they're out there on the shelves. Anyway, I think I understood everything else. Found this tough. Yeah, it took me a little bit longer than my usual. I like to get it done about 20 to 25 minutes. So this definitely took a little bit longer. And oh yeah, I thought this was a decent Monday cryptic. I found it a little bit easier maybe than a Monday, but definitely tougher than a regular cryptic. And it seems like, oh yeah, somebody is questioning out, available for out. Yes, so I agree with Jeepster. Anyway, I did enjoy it, but thank you as always for watching and have a wonderful day and a wonderful week ahead.